What's up, you guys? Welcome back to PC Gamer Girl. My name's Gray, and we are playing The Letter today. If you guys don't want me to play this game on the channel and would rather have me stream it, just let me know, because this game is incredibly long, and I've been playing it for months now, and I am loving it. I've played the game for 8 hours, and I don't even feel like we're like a third of the way through it yet. It's crazy. But we are playing Zack right now still, and I've got 14 other episodes, I think, if you want to go back and follow along. But let's get to it. A bench on the park is far from the most private place for thoughts in Luxborn, considering its location at the heart of a bustling city. But in the early hours of the morning, it provides enough space, enough peace and quiet for any poor problematic soul who happens to wander here. The city is just waking up, a little later than usual. But knowing what day it is, one can't fault it for being a little tardy just this once. Yet neither the pleasant morning chill nor the soft twittering of birds does anything to banish the images. Every single one has rooted itself in my head, its claws digging deep in what is no longer a safe place to hide in.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady.
That's creepy.
Take a key and lock him up. Lock him up.
It used to be
easy,
finding some pretense of peace under the guise of sheer optimism, following regular routine.
London Bridge
Now?
is falling down.
Now I don't know what to make of it. Sometimes it's easier to run, easier to hide when everything's falling apart. That way, you don't have to be the first to witness it when it does.
Lock him up.
It worked when things went bad with the movie, after all.
My fair lady.
Shut up, kid. It's hard to read.
London Bridge is falling
It also
down,
works when Mom and Pa are taken from us. Though the sentiment's a little hypocritical when you think about my little talk with this. This is straight up like voice jammer.
Lock him up. Lock him up.
But that's just how it is.
Lock him up. My
Maybe it really is better if I just...
Hey, mister.
Finally. Jesus, God. That was straight up like speech jammer. Like when you try to like read something while music's playing in your ears or something. It's so hard. Or wait, no, you listen to something and try to sing along with. I don't remember, but it's like that. The tiny voice gives me a pause. When I look up, a little girl, maybe about 6 or 7, is peering at me. 2 wide eyes, overflowing with what can only be the natural curiosity one typically sees in children. I vaguely note the Saint Goretti uniform she's wearing before returning her greeting.
Hey kid.
Kylie.
Kylie?
That's my name. Mama said it's rude not to call people by their names.
She then flops down on the empty space beside me. Her little legs, still too short to touch the ground, swings in tune with the song she hums under her breath. I don't mind kids. Nan would often invite the ones in our old neighborhood to give them treats. Of course, by then, Sis and I were both too old to play with them, but you get used to the commotion eventually. It's not completely as unpleasant as most people would imply. Kylie seems to be a well-behaved kid anyway.
Oh, sorry. Nice to meet you, Kylie. Is Mama here?
No, but my big brother's with me. He's taking pictures with his camera over there.
She points to the far end of the park, the one closest to the street, where a kid is taking shots of something above him. It doesn't look to be birds, because all there is on that side of the park are buildings.
I don't see what's so interesting with the tip of a building, though. I'd take pictures of dogs if I were him. They're cute. Do you have a camera too, mister?
Yeah, I'm actually a photographer.
Mama said I'm too young to get a camera.
Aww.
I'm sure your mama will eventually give you one. But won't you be late for school like this?
Big brother will get us there on time. Rowan promised Papa we aren't going to be late. It's sports day. So it's not good if you keep looking like that today. If it ends up raining and we lose, it's your fault.
All right, I'll try not to upset the clouds today, kid.
Is it because you're sick, mister?
Who is this kid? Before I know it, a smile is spread over my face. They say kids ask the toughest questions sometimes, and they sure do with how sincere Kylie looks. Lying feels like doing her a huge disservice.
No, not sick. Just having a very, very bad day.
Why is that? Is that like when my big brother ate all of my pudding? He did that once and then cried. It wasn't very nice of him.
Yeah, I think so. You see, there's this mean girl. She's given my friends and I a lot of trouble. Hard to keep up when things are like that, you know? Especially when you can't do anything. It's kind of scary. Makes you wish things will just stay as peaceful as they used to be.
Maybe she just wants to be friends with you?
I highly doubt that. She already hurt one of my friends.
What if she's just sad? Or maybe she just wants help. That's what happened with Melody. I let her borrow my crayon when she left hers. Now we're playmates.
It's not really the same thing, Kylie. What she did, they're pretty bad things.
I still think there's another reason. Did you try talking to her? That's what Mama said I should do.
I don't think that'll work either.
You haven't even tried yet. You sound like Rowan. You're just scared, mister.
That strikes a chord. Maybe it's the honesty in her tone or simply the truth in the words itself. I don't know why, but I can't help it. I laugh. Loud enough to disturb an elderly couple taking a leisure walk nearby.
Why are you laughing?
That's nothing. You're a really smart kid, you know that?
That's what I've been doing, ain't it? Go full speed ahead, then backtrack when the going gets tough. Stay in my safe zone because that's what I know. Once Dr. Navarro said I should be the first one to deal with my problems before anyone else. I didn't show up on our next appointment after that. But he's right. And though I hate to admit it, knowing what I've seen, but the kid makes a good point too. I've been so caught up thinking there might not be a way out. Maybe there isn't, or maybe there is, but that doesn't mean I should just leave it up to fate.
You better get to school, though, or you'll miss sports day. You should have won yourself some awards, alright?
Alright. Can I show it to you when I do? That can cheer people up, right?
I remember recess day, like relay rallies and stuff like that. When I was a kid, it was all day long, and I loved winning ribbons. It was my favorite thing at school. In the distance, her brother calls for her, and I took that as a sign to leave. Got things to do, to face the first few steps, they say.
Nah, I'm good now, I think. Thanks to you. Besides, Mister needs to go, but you should show it to Mama and Papa. I'm sure they'll be proud of you, Kylie.
I will. Thanks, mister. Bye.
I give her a little pat on the head before heading my way. A small gesture of thanks from a stranger she didn't know she might have helped. She may not understand it now, even though at such a young age she already has this understanding of things, but maybe when she's older, when the world no longer seems too big for her.
But aren't you going to help me, mister?
Oh, I don't like that.
With what?
Confused, I glance back. Oh god, there's this creepy kid. Whatever cheer our little talk has brought has vanished under the shadows suddenly dancing in my eyes. Oh, I don't like this. The frigid air is most definitely not how the morning chills should feel like. Bitter, stinging, unwelcoming. And the kid...
What do you think, mister? Are you going to help me?
No! Go away, demon spawn.
Leave us alone! What did we do to you?
The response never comes, however. Because when I blinked, gone.
Hello? Mister? Are you okay?
Oh god, that is so creepy. For several passing seconds, I let my stare linger on her face, waiting for any sign of another change. But all that remains in there is the carefree smile of a child. None of the spite, none of the cold, bloody smile.
Nothing. I really need to go, Kylie. It was nice meeting you.
See you again, mister!
So creepy. I break into a run. I don't look back, not even as I bump into a couple passers-by, as soon as I'm out on the busy streets. Going insane. That's what it is. And if we don't do something soon, we all will be. The tremors follow me even as I get home. I had hoped a little stroll around the block for a few hours would help. Instead, I'm assaulted with more images of her smile, the loathing in her eyes, the stench of gore, the horrid crunch that comes with every movement she makes. Even old memories have been sullied by her, and Ma's song no longer sounds as sweet as it meant to be. In the end, all I got is a sinking feeling I will never be rid of her image, and another ridiculous idea that may or may not even work. The sun is already hanging low on the horizon when I make it back. And for the first time, coming home feels more like a chore. Only I didn't arrive to an empty room. Because as soon as I open the door, I'm greeted by none other than...
Sup, Z-Man?
Ashton.
I told you we should have called him before going here.
And Lily.
It's
Or
fine.
Bella. It's Ashton I see first, sitting comfortably on my couch, munching on a bag of chips with both feet propped atop the coffee table. Whatever proverbial stone has made it home at the pit of my stomach automatically flies right out the window at the sight of him. But before any exasperation can set in, my attention is taken by the other occupant in the room. Isabella perches on the only other chair in the room, attempting to make herself smaller, it seems, from how closely she's hugging her arms against her. Nevertheless, she gives me a small smile when she notices my stare. Yet somehow there ain't any warmth in it like there's supposed to be.
Hey, Zach. Sorry we just barged in here. Ash was...
Relax. Z-Man gave me a copy of the key himself.
Only after you broke the 13th one? I can't keep replacing them every time you think it'd be a good idea to break into my apartment. And stop calling me Z-Man!
I didn't break anything this time.
Ash, just because I gave you a key doesn't mean you can just stroll in here whenever you want to. And, hey, is that my...
Ash smirks at me because of course he has the gall to smirk knowing what he did. He pops in what's very likely the last piece of chip into his mouth and folds the wrapper neatly on the table before throwing it on the nearby trash. From her chair, Isabella shoots me an apologetic smile as soon as the foil hits the waste bin with a dull thunk. Common sense dictates that I should be angry, but after everything, having something normal play out in front of me no matter how childish their antics can get, I can't bring myself to muster even a tidbit of it. Behind me, the television starts blaring the music for the end credits of a movie. They have likely been waiting for a while if Ash has gotten impatient enough to rummage through my cupboards and watch something.
Of course he eats all of it. You know, I was saving that for the weekend. Did you at least share some with Bella?
Don't worry about it. I'm good, Zach.
Really? But it's free food, you know? What was that you usually say? You don't say no to free food?
Poor Zach, he's having such a bad day.
What happened?
No, I'm just not hungry.
Ash only shrugs at the question in my eyes. I can't be the only one who finds the vibe she's giving off to be odd, and the guy has no doubt already caught wind of it.
Aye. But if you want something, just say so. I've got a fully restocked pantry right here at your disposal. Still not a 5-star level thing, but for an empty stomach, it'd do. Just say the word.
Thanks, Zach. Maybe next time. Food is not really what we came here for. Ash, he's the one who...
Casts a brief glance at Ash, and an instant he sits up. Every trace of amusement is gone from his face as he clasps his hand in front of him and leans forward. A minuscule gesture meant to ease, yet the grim expression on him tells a different story altogether.
All right, you two, what's this about? I don't like those looks.
A short but tense pause follows. They're both stalling. Under normal circumstances, I'd wait. With these two, the more you force it, the more they'll clamp down on it. But as a handful of seconds continue to slip by, the unsettling feeling in me also grows with it. Soon, it turns into impatience. Before I can demand a response, though, one of them finally speaks up. It's Isabella who breaks it first.
We just thought we should check on you. After what happened to Rose,
Please don't tell me something happened again.
No, nothing. None so far. And we're keeping it that way as much as possible.
Ash, it's not that easy. This isn't some...
We don't know that. Let me...
The bitter frustration in his tone is impossible to miss, but he catches it as soon as Isabella draws back. He allows himself a moment to breathe before dropping it for one less harsh, more tempered, gentler.
Let me look at this first, okay? I agreed to help, but you've got to let me handle things from now on.
I already told you everything.
There must be something we're not seeing in this just yet. We'll sort this out, but no more silly ideas and running around on your own. You're making people worry more than necessary. Becca, especially.
So everything's fine?
Depends on who you're asking. How are things with you? Anything odd?
Good, I guess. Admittedly, how things went down at the housewarming party last night threw me off a bit.
I'm not asking about that. Remember the letter thing Isabella's been yapping on about? I'm asking about that kind of odd.
I look at him, gaped more like. His serious expression doesn't waver despite the perplexed look I shoot him. There's a brief second I let pass as I wait for the heavens to fall somewhere. It doesn't come. The sky is still bathed in vibrant reddish hues as it waits for the night to arrive. Luxburn is still the same busy city, and everything in my room still appears as it did a second ago, including the unnerving ticking of my wall clock. But if Ashton, calm, cool, collected, always logical Ashton, takes interest in this, something or someone must have fucked shit up somewhere.
Well, the dreams, they're a lot worse than usual. There's a woman now, ever since we saw that letter. I don't know if it's the same one Isabella talked about. Maybe it is, maybe it ain't. I really don't want to go back to sleep sometimes. Last night was the worst. Anyway, why are you asking about this?
Rose's death isn't just a coincidence, Zach. It may have something to do with... I may have...
Wait, stop right there for a sec, Bella. I thought you ain't buying this stuff, Ash. Just the other day, you said the exact same thing.
I still don't, but even Rebecca, out of all people, claims there's something. Whatever this is, someone has got to look into it. Everything about this screams shady.
Are you sure you even have the time? Ain't you busy with your current case?
I got taken off that one.
I think Ashton is holding something back. Like, the whole current case thing, they've been talking about that forever. And he never divulges any details about it, ever.
You didn't say you were taken off your case.
Like, I feel like his current case has something to do with the rights.
I just got the news this morning. Apparently the higher-ups think I'm doing a horrendous job at it. It doesn't matter though. If these two cases are connected like I initially thought,
See?
then regardless, I'm on the right track.
Are you sure we should even be doing this?
Doing what exactly?
There's someplace we'll visit after this.
Too vague for comfort, Ash. And please don't tell me you're bringing her with you.
His affirmation comes in the form of a stare, but that alone says all I need to know. What I pointed out gives him a pause, though, and his voice is thick with hesitation when he addresses Isabella.
You know what? Zach's right, Isabella. You don't have to come with me.
It's not myself I'm worried about. It's you. I'll just do this myself, if it'll get you into more trouble with your superiors. At least I can make up an excuse why I need to be there.
Don't be ridiculous. You're not walking in there without me. Besides, I think it's a little too late to back out now. Have you two seen the news this morning?
I haven't, actually. Mama called, and I was busy.
The change in the air around her, while small, cannot have gone unnoticed, and it takes every willpower not to ask. Probably the only thing reigning in my curiosity is the fact that Ash himself hasn't brought it up either.
No problem. It should be in the afternoon news as well.
Man burned after room catches fire. Oh. He grabs the remote and cycles through numerous channels until he gets to a news report about another guy who has been found dead in the early hours of the morning today. Burned alive this time. Oddly, no fire has spread, and whatever damage has been contained within the place the body was found. The room itself, however, has been completely vandalized. Help me. Help me. Help me. Another murder, the authorities claimed. Isabella and I knew better. None of us shifts even after the report ends, but the room has suddenly felt stifling. Ashton's eyes have gone hooded with what appears to be restrained anger, and the remote in his hand creaks mildly under his grip. The stone is back in my stomach. A tiny little thing gripping at my insides, growing with every passing second as the dread sinks in. In the thick of it, Isabella's voice is the one that breaks the hush. A small, weak thing on its own that wavers unevenly between words, but every syllable heavy with meaning.
This is because of that thing, isn't it? I did this somehow.
When it fades, all that's left in the air is her fear and doubt, while all we can do is to cope. Is there something I can say to make her feel better? I don't know, man. I can stay silent, or I can say we can still fix this. What would give me the worst outcome? That's my real question. I feel like staying silent would do worse. I open my mouth to say something, fishing for little words of encouragement or comfort to lighten the mood. But no sound came out despite my efforts. How can I, when my own head is littered with the same thoughts probably plaguing her? It'll be nothing but a half-assed declaration when I've yet to sort myself out. Yet in the end, it is Ash, of all people, who finds them.
We'll find a way. Somehow. I don't know. This appears to be more complicated than I initially thought, but there has to be some way.
The whole thing sounds unexpectedly optimistic for him. He must have realized it as well, because he averts his eyes as soon as the words are out of his mouth, and Isabella turns to him with a look of surprise on her face. But despite himself, he continues. His tone, careful, hesitant, afraid of saying the wrong thing.
On top of that, we don't have any concrete proof yet. For all we know, it could just be someone clever enough to use those silly legends to cover up for his crimes. I wouldn't put it past whoever that is. He's gone and killed 2 people already. But that's why I want to look into this, whether I have this case or not. I want to see for myself what it is. It's my job to know in the first place.
Then, what about...
And even if it is connected in any way, you have me and Zach helping you out. Becca too, I'm sure. She worries most out of anyone. So whatever shit you found yourself in, know you're not alone. Just promise you won't run off anywhere by yourself.
Ash rarely ever lies when it matters. Even if finding the right things to say is difficult for him, his words burn with nothing but a simple truth in them. But Isabella doesn't answer. Instead, she looks to me, eyes wide and searching, hoping to find some sort of affirmation to Ash's words and me. I can only offer her a grin and what's perhaps the only thing I'm certain of at this moment.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Though I've got to admit, that's the longest I've heard Ash say something.
Shut up, Z-Man.
You ate the whole bag of chips I was saving for the weekend. You're in no position to tell me to shut up.
You tell him, Zach.
I was going to replace it.
Everything after quickly dissolves into our usual banter. But when a small smile spreads across her lips and the tense lines in her shoulders ease, I know we've given her something far more than empty reassurances. They take their leave mere minutes close to sundown. But regardless of the lighter mood, little has been said of their plans, only vague hints of what they're aiming to do after. While it ain't any of my business to know, something about this whole thing still gnaws at me. A tiny passing thought urges me to do something as well. Oh Lord, what are we doing? At this hour, the streets are once again busy with people heading home after a hard day's work. Little of the bustle matters to them as they step out of the crowded walkway, however. Ash especially. There's only his goal in mind, and I'd wager there's nothing I can do to stop him at this point. He's probably decided on it long before they made the decision to drop by. But despite this, Isabella lags behind. A worried crease is back on her forehead as she watches Ash leave to get in his car.
Something wrong, Bella?
No, Actually, can you check on Becca for me after this? I really didn't get the chance to tell her where I'm headed off to. Tell her I'm okay, and No, just that. That's all.
You sure I should skip on that part? If she finds out about this, she'll be angry. I don't really want to deal with angry Rebecca. It gives me a stomachache just thinking about it.
Neither do I, but I'll handle it if she gets mad. Just make sure she's safe and tell her to be careful. You too. Take care of yourself.
Almost abruptly, she pauses, the gaze in her eyes hardening as she lapses into another one of those long, distant silences from earlier. This ain't just because of the whole fiasco with the letter anymore.
I don't want what happened to Rose to happen to you guys as well.
This one cut deeper. Before I can ask about it, Ashton returns casually swinging his car keys in one hand and gestures at Bella.
Come on, we don't have much time. Shirley's waiting.
Who's sure?
The car.
Oh, right. Don't answer that. I don't want to hear it, you huge dork.
Says the person who gave her stuffed toys names. Batcat? Really?
It's cute. Yours is just weird. I'll see you later, Zach.
She spares me another smile, and as I watch her walk off, only now did it occur to me that none of those she gave today ever did reach her eyes. I make a grab for the back of Ash's parka. He staggers briefly before correcting himself and shooting me a confused stare.
Is she all right?
What? Who's okay?
Isabella. She's been, I don't know, out of it today? Did something happen earlier?
The scowl on his face says it all.
She's actually been like that this morning. I'll ask, but...
Just do me a favor and watch over her. We have no idea what we're dealing with. I don't know what happened to her since the last time I saw her, but from how she's been doing today, whatever it is, seems like a pretty big deal. Wait, you didn't annoy her again, did you? Because I swear to God, if you did, you've got another thing coming for you.
What? No. Why would I?
I'm just asking. I'll take your word for it. But if you can find out what's bothering her, that'd be nice. Honestly, I don't think it's the letter this time.
I'll see what I can do.
Make sure you keep yourself out of harm's way, alright?
Yeah, you too. Don't do anything reckless again.
Reckless, no. But I can't make you to promise I won't do anything. After seeing that, there's no way in hell I'm going to pretend there ain't a problem when there is. This is a really big one, and I'll be damned if I let anything happen to you guys while I sit here. I'm done running when things get tough.
Aw, he's such a good guy. I love Zach. He's my favorite. He's about to argue for a moment, but...
Look, bro, if things ain't good, I'll be the first one out. But allow me this one thing, alright? Just this one time. If it doesn't work out, you'll be the first one to know. You can laugh then, or berate me all you want, but please don't ask me to step aside like I'm incapable of doing anything to help.
I have no idea if it is the look on my face or the tone of my voice. Ultimately, though, although his mouth presses into a thin line, he nods.
All right. Stay safe, Zach.
When he stumbles into the sidewalk and allows the afternoon crowd to swallow him whole, I like to think the tiny gleam in his eye is the closest we can get to optimism in this situation. Whether that alone will be enough to give me a peaceful sleep tonight remains to be said. October 30th, Sunday. Night falls, and despite my best attempts, sleep continues to elude me. With her image still stuck in my head, flashing every few moments, it catches me off guard, with Ma's lullaby still echoing in my ears, no longer the soft tune it once was. And the terrible gnawing at the pit of my stomach, it's no wonder I can't bring myself to drift off even for a little while. And it's not... It is not as if there's a complete lack of things to do while waiting for sleep to come, if it ever will. And at 2:45 in the morning, I find myself cleaning my photography equipment for no other reason than just to pass time. Oh my god! Oh, that scared the crap out of me. Though if I am going to be honest, it is not the night terrors that are keeping me wide awake, but the anxiety and the hope I'll hear from Ash or Isabella soon. Jesus, I'm not ready for like those sudden in-your-face animations. And for what's perhaps the 42nd time, my eyes shift over to the end of the table where my phone lies still. I've not heard from them since they left. They haven't promised a call, of course, but a small part of me wishes they would have common sense at the very least. Waiting is a tough game, and with the concern stretching out the minutes far longer than usual, it's impossible for more unpleasant thoughts not to enter my mind. Moreover, it does not help that when the clock finally strikes 3. Oh man, come on. No! My hand stills. God damn it. It'll be a complete and utter lie to say my heart didn't leap straight to my throat in that brief second. My whole body has gone motionless, ears straining for any further sounds. A couple of tense seconds pass. Nothing. Of course, with how old the building I'm staying in, power fluctuations ain't nothing new. Every now and then, this would happen, leaving a few tenants in a rather bad mood. Nothing unusual anymore after a few years of living here. But this time, the sudden hush brings with it a stillness that raised the hair at the back of my neck and set my heart beating hard against my chest. Something reeks in the air, and in an instant, this place is no longer home. It's a prison. Every rational fiber in my being screams at me to leave. I force myself to swallow and keep a clear head as I lay down all my cleaning tools and begin gathering together the rest of my things scattered about on the table. The camera's body, lenses, filters, diffuser, phone, anything in my hand could reach. But in the resulting panic, oh god, I don't want to see, I don't want to see, I don't want to see. Oh! Like in the nightmares, it's the scent that reaches me first. A foul, putrid smell filling my lungs with the heavy stink of death. I hate this. My fingers clamp tightly to the camera, holding it closer to my body as if the tiny thing would provide enough protection to whatever is with me in the room. It won't. But it's the only comfort I have. Oh god, I can't look.
Hello?
I don't want to see it.
I know you're in here. What do you want?
Something moves behind me, a soft scuttling over the walls, followed by the squelch and painful creaking of what can only be rotten flesh and broken bones. Without hesitation, I whirl around, my fingers at camera ready, patiently waiting for another movement.
Leave! Leave now!
Oh my god.
There's nothing here for you!
Oh god. Oh god, I don't want to move, I don't want to move. There's a brief moment of silence after, and for a short while I think my pleas worked. Then, with no warning, the shuffling resumes, and along with it are the sobs of a woman. Use the mouse to look around, press spacebar to take a picture. Are you tripping right now? Oh no, I hate this. Oh my god. Oh god! Jesus Christ. The light flashes fleetingly one last time, allowing me a glimpse of her grotesque misshapen figures before it was once again lost in the darkness. All of a sudden her tune changes, no longer a soft cry but a high-pitched shriek brimming with pain, grief, and anger. Every ounce of courage I've mustered flees from my body at the sound, and the next thing I know, my hand is gripping the knob, and I'm wrenching the door open. Her wails follow me as I flee into the night. Pacing has always been more of Ashton's thing than mine. When I want to think, I sit and let the minutes tick by until an idea comes to my mind or my pulse settles down. And yet, dried leaves and twigs crack under my shoes as I make another pass at them. Terror is too mild to describe what this is. There's no way in hell I'm going back. Whatever she is, pleading won't work. The moment we saw that letter, she's been after us.
But I can't run. Not this time.
Nearly 2 hours have gone by since I left the comfort of my room for the solitude of the park. 2 excruciating hours since I've started making calls. No one's answering. Not even Rebecca, who has always kept her phone line open in case other people need her. Or Isabella, who frequently checks hers for any messages and readily responds as soon as she can afford. It does not help that Ash hasn't said a word where he went off to as well.
Damn it! I knew I should have asked him before I let him leave.
Knowing him, he can be anywhere. But there's really only one place he'll likely be at this time. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna leave it here. The sudden jump scares always get me. I love it. It's great, but dang. Like, my blood pressure goes through the roof. I'm gonna leave it here for the day. If you like this episode, please hit the like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Twitch. I'm starting to stream over there. PC Gamer Girl YT is the channel name, and you can definitely find me over there. I'm trying to stream every day, but you know, it comes and goes. And follow me on Twitter at PC Gamer Girl, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.